all who come to this happy place, welcome.
What is it about Disney that makes us happy? Is it the magical whistle as your ticket is scanned at the main gate? Is it the seafaring smell of pirate water? Or is it charting a course to a land where you may never grow up? Whether it's singing a familiar song, watching a movie, or riding your favorite attraction for the 100th time, Disney undeniably has a way to warm our hearts, believe in magic, and bring joy into our lives. This is Main Gate Magic, a podcast where we break down and discuss the infectious happiness, delight, and thrill of all things Disney. I always love watching that video. It's so fun. Welcome, everybody. It is Main Gate Magic Live. It is Tuesday, May 7th. If you have never joined us before, then we're glad to have you. If you are a returning customer, welcome back. We're glad to have you as well. My name is Jason Braden. I am the host, and with me, as always, are my co-host, Lisa, my lovely wife, and my friend, Mimi. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good?
Lovely.
Great?
That's
Lovely. I love it. Love it to hear it. Now, we also have another special guest sitting there in the corner with his curious eyes looking around the screen like the Brady Bunch show opening. This is a good friend of mine and a man who needs a very large introduction. Producer, writer, director, Dark Lord of the Sith, voice actor, and visual effects artist, and I'm sure many, many more accolades that he is going to tell us about on this show. I am happy to welcome my good friend, Mr. Andrew Nelson. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Greetings from the dark side.
Yes. Thank you for being on our show.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here, Jason.
I'm glad that you're here too. We did a lot of promotion for this on Saturday, and I'm hoping that we'll get a few people on to say hello. And for those who don't know on social media what we did on Saturday, there was an event in Modesto at the I think Brendan Theater on 10th Street out there, and they were showing some Star Wars movies. And you and Dave, what's David's last name?
David Gonzalez.
David Gonzalez from Return of the Jedi. You guys were out there and signing autographs and greeting people that were in their Jedi tunics and
it was wonderful.
Lightsabers galore.
There was a lot of people out there, and it was fun. This is for those of you across the country who don't know exactly where Modesto is. Modesto is in Central California. This is actually the town that George Lucas grew up in. So aptly that they're doing. That's why they were doing the May the 4th be with you event. So they've been doing that for a while.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we are going to kind of do things in a little bit. I mean, I'm sort of going off of the same format that we did for Mary Gibbs on the last one. And if you guys weren't able to join us on the last one, Mary Gibbs was our last guest. She was a lot of fun to have. She told us all about her career, or her early career as a child voice actor, playing the voice of Boo in Monsters, Inc. She talked about memories with her dad and doing the recordings, at least what she remembers or what she was told. She told us about her Daredevil stuff where she's like, twirling fire and does crazy yoga and glass walking and using sledgehammers, smashing cinder blocks on people. I mean,
it's amazing. It's amazing everything she does. Yeah,
it really. She has many hats as well, and but she was a great guest, and it was a lot of fun. We also did a lot of trivia from Monsters Inc., and we plan to do the same here today. But obviously, we're going to change the theme up a little bit.
I would hope so.
Yeah, we're going to have some Star Wars trivia. So today we are going to do something, and we'll do this after, I kind of have, you introduce yourself and tell you a little bit about, who you are, what you've done, all that kind of stuff. But I'm calling it Stump the Dark Lord. So we're going to try to put out some trivia questions that are,
charming photo,
isn't it? I keep reusing that, and I think I will continue to reuse it throughout our friendship, and I hope I get more opportunities.
Yes.
So anyway, before we get to the trivia, though, why don't you go ahead and tell folks a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing with your life.
Well, I was born in a log cabin or a log Death Star that my father built. I like you mentioned, I'm an actor, a visual effects artist, animator, voiceover performer. writer, producer, director, and a genuine Dark Lord of the Sith. I actually spent 12 years playing the character of Darth Vader for Lucasfilm and the Lucas companies.
Wow.
For film and for television and for games and commercials and print and live appearances and everywhere the character was needed. It ended up being 70 times over 12 years. And I only know that because my lovely wife, Veronica Loud, made me keep count. So, so you'll find me in the special edition of the original movies as Vader. I'm in the video games like Rebel Assault 2 and Dark Forces. I'm in a massive amount of commercials. And I was on the David Letterman show, the Oprah Winfrey show as Vader. I mean, even on a U.S. postage stamp. I honestly thought you had to be dead to be on the postage stamp, but apparently not.
Well, I mean, technically, Darth Vader is dead, so
yeah. Okay. Yes.
Well, we can kind of allow that.
Yes, but moment of silence.
Yes,
but like I said, I'm also
people.
Yes, yes, referencing a particular film back there. Yes,
yes.
So, speaking of which, as I mentioned, I'm also a visual effects artist. I worked for about 6 years at LucasArts, the game company that George Lucas started. I was a visual effects supervisor and senior artist there, helping design and create lots of Star Wars games and other games as well. Then I transferred over to Industrial Light and Magic to work on films like, the prequels, the Star Wars prequels, and movies like Galaxy Quest and Jurassic Park 3 and Perfect Storm and Nightmare Before Christmas and other things like that. And then after that, I was offered a full-time faculty position at the Academy of Art University in San Francisco. I ran the visual effects department there for about 2.5 years. Then freelanced after that as a visual effects consultant and animation consultant. But I'm also a voice actor. I do voices for games and animation. I even did Luke Skywalker's voice for some of the LucasArts games when Mark Hamill wasn't available. So I am apparently the first actor. Yes?
Yeah. So, you're probably going to say it, right?
Okay.
Please say it. But you played the voice of Luke Skywalker, and
yes.
Though you were not the voice of Darth Vader, you were the body of Darth Vader, which means what?
It means I'm my own father or my own son or an episode of the Maury Povich show. Who knows?
Yeah. You are the son.
We're going to need a commercial break here. No.
Yeah, seriously. Somebody get a calculator.
Yes. And I am, along with Jerry Cornell, co-owner and co-founder of the production company Adventurous Ideas. We produce audio dramas, as you well know, Jason. Because you are, our right-hand guy and right there involved with all of it. And we produce full cast audio dramas. And it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, happy to be part of the team. It's been quite an adventure. I mean, there's really not many other words I can choose besides adventure, because there's been a lot of stuff that's happened over the years and a lot of stuff that's coming down the pipeline like this year. So we're really excited.
I do a lot of things, a lot of different things. I've done stand-up comedy. I've done a lot of stuff like that because nobody tells me I can't. And I probably wouldn't listen if they did.
Right.
So.
Is there anything you don't do?
Right.
Much to my wife's chagrin, I don't dance. So
oh, hey, all right. That makes two of us.
Yes. Not only do I have two left feet, they're nailed to the floor. So it's pretty sad. Yes.
So you're pretty much like homeward bound and can't even dance at home because you're immobile.
No, it's not without the family laughing at me. No.
So, right. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Lisa's always, commenting on my lack of dance abilities as well. Yeah, I get up and boogie every once in a while, but it's only in private. So
we should form a non-dance troupe. That's what we should.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Patricia's
just stand there a lot going.
Right, shaking our hands like this is
jazz hands. I can do jazz hands. I can't do jazz feet.
Patricia's on, and she said hello, everybody, and she says love being a part of Adventurous Ideas, and it's an awesome team. Yes, it is, and Patricia has been, I think, on every single one of our episodes so far.
Thank you.
She is our number one fan. Yes, definitely.
Patricia.
And if you guys are. Yes, she is. She's a great writer, just a wonderful person as well. If you guys are just joining,
wonderful writer, excellent writer.
Oh, yes, there it is. That's the next story that we're going to be working on when Heroes is done. So Extinguished Worlds, fantastic story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, if anybody's just joining, or if you have been listening for a while, the chats are open. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, please feel free to drop in and say hello and ask Andrew any questions you may want to have about
Anything
his
you
career.
like.
Right.
Unless
What's
it's
it
covered
like
by a
being on the dark
non-disclosure
side?
agreement from years ago, then I'll answer
Right.
anything.
What kind of benefits do they have on the Death Star? You know, I mean, do you get your own speeder? You know, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure he has answers to all of that. But first,
You'll get nothing and like it.
right.
Are the lunches paid?
Well, I did hear something about holidays. They do have at least one holiday, don't they?
Yes, they have Life Day. Yes.
Life
yeah,
Day.
that's fair.
Yes,
That's fair.
Life Day. Okay.
Yes.
And I thought the Emperor's birthday as well, right?
Oh yes, you do. You know, that's the nice thing. If you join the Empire, you know, you do get vision and dental, and you get the Emperor's birthday off every year. So
Yeah,
Not
and
quite
to
as
get
good as
cookies.
a government job, but hey.
no, there's definitely a lot more presidential or government holidays than there are on the dark side. So,
Yes.
but oh well. All right, we're gonna go to our first trivia question, and you asked me to kind of stick to the original stories, either episodes 4 through 6, or even episodes 1 through 3.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Okay,
because
I wasn't gonna bring it up. But...
I mean, I'm as big a Star Wars fan as most people. You know, you'd think by now I'd be jaded, but I'm not. I still love Star Wars, but I don't consume every bit of Star Wars. It's just I don't have time to, and so but people will come up to me at conventions and they'll ask me all these questions about what was in this novel or what was in that comic book and everything. And I don't know. You know, if it wasn't in the movies, I probably don't know it. So
I've limited the trivia to episodes 4, 5, and 6. That would be A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So I'm hoping it'll be pretty easy, but I'm also hoping that there's maybe 1 or 2 that you may not.
Yeah, let's hope it's as
remember.
easy as shooting womp rats in Beggar's Canyon.
Right, yeah, exactly. Which is not one of the questions, but you know, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
All right, first question is scrolling across the bottom. Who shot first? Oh wait, never mind. Forget that one. That's not gonna be...
I could go on for an hour on that one.
Yeah, I don't want to even get close to that one. And if you guys...
this is a show about positivity, so
it is a show about the positivity. Yeah, I mean, but that was positively funny, I thought.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, in all seriousness, first question, episode 4. What was the name of the captain on the Tantive 4? The Tantive 4 was the opening ship at the very beginning.
That would be Captain Antilles.
Very good. All right. You get a cookie.
Thank you.
The next time you come by.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll keep that scrolling across in case anybody wants to join in and answer the question in the comments for a bit. But for now, I have a few questions that we'll ask in between trivia just to kind of keep things rolling along here. We were talking about it on Saturday, but how many pieces did the Darth Vader suit have?
The Vader costume is 17 pieces. If you include the lightsaber that hangs on the belt, it's 17 pieces.
I would count it.
Yeah, and it's
heavy.
It is heavy. Cumulatively, it's very heavy because the bulk of it is made out of leather. Then you've got the hard parts are made out of fiberglass, and then you've got the undercloak and which we call a surcoat. And then you have the cape, which is a full circle, and those are made out of wool with satin lining. And so put all that on, plus then you get the helmet and everything, and you've got the battery and that's powering the lights and the breathing. If you're doing a live appearance, they turn the breathing on. So it's a lot of weight. I don't know exactly how much, but because you put it on very slowly, piece by piece, making sure that everything is in the right spot so that it looks right. There's a very specific look to the costume and where everything is supposed to be placed, which is funny because sometimes I'll watch videos on YouTube of when they have like the Jedi Training Academy and stuff like that at Disneyland or Walt Disney World, and I'll see the Vader that they have. And I'll start laughing because the chest box is like down here somewhere. It's like it's not a gut box; it's a chest box. It has a very specific spot. It's supposed to be a certain distance between there and the chin and everything. So it takes about 45 minutes to get into the costume to make sure everything's just right and everything's in the right spot and the lines of the surcoat are going straight up and down. There's a very specific look. Make sure there's no fingerprints on the helmet or anything like that because that would show up on camera.
Right.
At the end of the day, it takes about 5 minutes to get out. You don't care what it looks like at that point. It's hot. It's blistering hot inside that thing. Get me out of here. You can turn it inside out if you have to. Just get me out. So I was
going to say, do they just like blast some compressed air underneath the suit and it just goes poof?
I wish. That would be nice. That'd be really nice, but it's not. No. It's.
I was going to say, how much weight did you actually lose just from sweating?
Honest truth. Okay, I do have a story about that. In 2005, we did a commercial for M&Ms, for dark chocolate M&Ms. So Vader's turning them to the dark side. That's the whole gag. So
I remember that.
Yeah, so we did a print ad and a TV commercial, but we only had one day to shoot it all in. So I had to be in the costume for almost 21 hours straight doing the shoot. Because when they didn't need me for the commercial, they needed me for the print ad, and back and forth. And we also had to go all the way down to Buenos Aires, Argentina to shoot this. And you're thinking, why? Why Argentina? Well, because the advertising agency, they had a $300,000 budget, but they really wanted to make $1 million commercial. And when they looked around and figured out the exchange rate, they figured out, the dollar goes 3 times as far down in Buenos Aires. So that's where we ended up, because they had to rebuild an entire set from Revenge of the Sith. We also brought the director of photography from the prequels down there to shoot it, David Tattersall. So it's a great commercial. It looks just like the movies. I mean, it's perfect. But yeah, so I was in the costume all day long. I got to take the head off in between takes, obviously, but I had everything else on. I literally lost 5 pounds just sweating. I'm not exaggerating. I know that because I weighed myself at the hotel. So
wow.
Yeah. And it's not like I was starving myself or anything. I just sweated it all out. I had my own little craft services table and a little tent and everything and a fan and everything. But of course, it was hot. It was hot underneath all the lights, and it was hot because we're down in South America. and occasionally they would have the whole studio side of the studio opened up, letting all that warm air in. So yeah.
That's rough. I can't.
That's right. That's why they pay me the medium-sized dollars.
My hottest moment ever in my life was similar to that, where I was actually. This was when I was not too long after I'd graduated high school. I think I was probably like 19, maybe barely in my 20s. I worked at a video store, and I got to be Michelangelo, the Ninja Turtle.
Oh,
and it was a rented styrofoam costume. And it was in Oakley, which is like way out in the East Bay. And as you all Bay Area people know, the further east you go, the hotter it gets.
Yes.
And it was in June or August or something like that during the Oakley Almond Festival. And something very similar happened to me too. I wore it one day during the parade. I was wearing it inside the store during the parade, outside in the park signing autographs, with 3 fingers like this, signing the longest Ninja Turtle name ever. And something happened. I think I lost about 5 pounds that day as well. It was pretty crazy. I have a picture somewhere with my head out of it.
Next time, dress as April O'Neil.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll be much more attractive. Yeah,
sure, yeah.
I could slim down for the yellow jumpsuit. No problem. Alrighty. That's enough of that nightmare.
Yes.
Next question.
We all have to live with that image.
Yes. Right. I'm sorry.
Lisa really has to live with that image. Okay.
Yes, she does. Yes. All right. Another episode 4 question, and these are going to be kind of easy. So, where did Luke tell his uncle he wanted to go to get his power converters?
He wanted to go to Tashi Station.
That's right.
Yes.
Yay. All right. That was an easy one. So we're going to do another one right after that. Okay.
All right. Sure.
And this one's pretty easy too. So I think a lot of these you're going to breeze through. Like I said, I'd be surprised if you even miss 1 or 2 of them. The next one is, what docking bay number was the Millennium Falcon located at?
94.
94. Exactly. Yes. All right. So easy. See, these are
Yeah.
easy. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. All right.
So easy a caveman could do it.
Right. Right. So tell us some more about your television show appearances. I know that you said you were on Oprah and David Letterman, but you were also on a award show once with Hayden Christensen as well, right?
Yes, I was on the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards in 2005, which was just a huge event. This was a real red carpet award show type thing, and with tons of celebrities there, and it was just absolute madness. They do that show at UCLA in the huge auditorium that they have for the basketball games and everything. And it is huge. It's big. So we were walking the red carpet at the beginning of the whole thing, in costume, character, and everything like that. And then we had to actually, do the show, and it's done like a real award show, and with all the celebrity presenters and things like that. But let me back it up just a little bit here. I first met Hayden Christensen about maybe 4 days after he was cast as Anakin. And we were doing a photo shoot together for Premiere Magazine. Me as Vader, he is himself, and to sort of introduce him to the world that he's now Anakin. And keep in mind that every young actor on the globe wanted that role, and many of them fought very hard for it, and some came in pretty close. I think Tom Hanks' son was actually one of the runner-ups as well too, Colin Hanks. But Hayden Christensen just beat out everybody for that role. But then instantly, all eyes are on you, and so it's only 4 days in, literally just 4 days in, and paparazzi's already following him around. He's already done an interview with Entertainment Tonight. The poor kid hadn't even seen a script yet.
Oh my God.
And he shows up at we were doing the shoot in Santa Monica, California, in the Los Angeles area, and at a studio there. And he walks into the studio, and he sees me in the Vader costume. Basically, let me see if this will show up or anything on camera there. But
there he is.
There I am with the Emperor.
Yeah, for those who are listening, he is actually showing a picture of himself in the Darth Vader costume, sans helmet, standing next to Mr. George Lucas.
Yes, that's right. So he sees, Hayden sees me wearing everything except the head. And I think it just became real for him at that moment that, oh my gosh, I'm part of Star Wars. And he walks up to me and he goes, whoa. And I knew he was nervous. I just reached out and shook his hand. And I said, how you holding up so far? And he goes, I'm doing okay. But we spent that whole day together just, shooting photos. We just had a blast. His brother Tove was there with him, his older brother. And we just had a great time. Then I didn't see him for a while, except on my monitor at Industrial Light and Magic, because I'm doing effects for Attack of the Clones.
Right.
But then we did the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards together. And as I said, they do the big auditorium there at UCLA. And we were doing a run through out of costume. So I'm just in my street clothes. And so the crew doesn't know me from a hole in the ground. It's like, hey, buddy, step out of the way kind of thing. Until Hayden Christensen walks in. And Hayden sees me and he recognizes me. And he says, hey, Andrew. And I go, hey, how you holding up so far? And he laughs. By this point, Attack of the Clones has already been out. He's an old hand at this now. He's already shot to Revenge of the Sith. It's coming out now. And so he goes, yeah, I'm doing okay. And we laugh. But then the crew looks at him, looks at me, looks at him, looks at me again. It's like, oh, you know him? I guess we better be nice to you. So. And then I worked on the effects for Jumper, so our paths have crossed a number of times. But he's a great guy.
I forgot he was in that too. Yeah, right. Yeah.
But doing the awards show was interesting because they do it very fast. It's done live.
Right.
Ben Stiller was the host, but there were all these other presenters and everything. And one of the presenters was Queen Latifah. And so as I'm standing backstage waiting to go on, and it's Queen Latifah's turn to go out there. So she's walking out, and they're telling her, okay, you got to get out there and everything. And she walks past me and sees me in the costume, and she's like, oh no, I got to get a picture with him. So she comes over and it's like, you're on. It's like, yeah, but no. So
that's great.
That's awesome.
Jerry Cornell is online and he says, hello,
hey,
first time
hello,
caller,
Jerry.
long time fan. Good to have you, Jerry. Did you have a question for Mr. C. Andrew Nelson?
Or are you just here to throw virtual tomatoes?
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have been texting a lot already today.
Actually, we haven't. This is like the first day.
What?
We haven't. For anybody who doesn't know, like I said, Jerry Cornell and I are co-owners and co-founders of Adventurous Ideas, and we're best buds. And we text each other like 16-year-old schoolgirls. It's just really sad. It's just all day long. I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, no, we haven't texted today, which is odd, but we will after this, I'm sure. So
yeah, I was gonna say chop. He's probably waiting for
you. You have a question, stranger? Okay. So.
He does have a question actually. He says, "How did you get the role of Vader?" Really, I think he's a little bit late on this one.
We've known each other all these years, and you still don't know?
I know he knows. But you know what? That is a good question. And we will ask it. But after the next couple of trivia questions. And hello, Alex. Alex is on the show as well. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Good to have you back.
Hello, Alex. Greetings.
That is our nephew. Yes. Hello. Greetings. All right. Next questions. This is still episode 4. I think it's the last question I have in episode 4. And it is, what were Obi-Wan's last living words?
Ouch.
Good answer. Good answer.
Oh, you mean
I'm going to give you a Family
Feud
answer. Yeah, good answer. Right, yeah.
And you want to hear what I said the answer was?
What did you say the answer was?
Of me.
Oh.
Yeah.
His last living words were, if you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Dang, I almost thought I would get you on that one, but that is absolutely right. Son of a gun. Yeah. All right.
Actually, his last word
one of these.
Luke, no, that way. What? Don't distract me.
I thought it was going to be more like, can you wash my robe after it falls on the ground? Because I've been wearing it for a long time in the desert. All right, we're on to episode 5 now. Empire Strikes Back. Arguably the most excellent Star Wars movie ever created. Yes.
Yeah, bud. Most excellent.
Most excellent. What type of beast captured Luke on Hoth?
Well, that would be sorry, I thought I had a good joke, but
oh, come on! I honestly thought I have something prepared for when I stump you, and I'm really hoping that I just get you on one. But go ahead.
That would be the lawyers. No.
Wah 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 wah.
No, it's the Wampa ice creature.
It is the Wampa. Yeah, that's correct. Okay.
Yeah. Wamp him real good.
Wamp
him real good.
Wow. I need to prepare some different audio clips, like drum hits, like.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah, the Wampa. And the reason I was trying to get these kind of questions is because they never say what the name of the creature is in the movie, and I don't know how
that was all up to
Kenner Toys and stuff. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yes,
there were a lot of characters that really did not have names until Kenner said, "Oh, we need to make a toy out of that." So yeah,
even the spider robot droid thing in Jabba's palace had a name, for crying out loud. I mean, not until much later, I think, but they all had names.
Bob.
Bob, yeah.
Bob.
Hey, Bob, get the door. There's another droid.
It's Roberto.
Patricia says ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed, yes.
Ludicrous speed. Now, we actually used the Spaceballs reference in our shopping yesterday, didn't we, baby?
We did.
You were doing a little bit of shopping before the trip, and there was a cute little pair of pants that were plaid, and I hard vetoed it. I said, no. She's like, oh, they're cute. I said, the only thing that those things are cute for is breaking what was the comment I said? It was so good. I said, the only thing that those things look good on is doing top speed on Spaceball 1 or something like that.
Something like that.
Because it honestly did look like that kind of plaid color. And I was like, I don't want to see that. No.
The associates in the store, they were laughing because they thought that was funny too.
Gotta keep them laughing.
Yep.
All right. So let's go back to Jerry's question, which I know he knows the answer to, but we're going to go ahead and just ask it to get everybody else informed.
You could have typed in the whole answer by now.
I could have, probably.
No, he could have.
I've heard it a few times. Oh, yeah, totally, yeah. So how did you become Vader? Like, who picked you out of the line?
I happened to be at the right place at the right time at the right height. I was working at LucasArts at the time. It was early summer of 1994. I was sitting at my desk, just doing my job. Being a good employee and doing my job, minding my own business. My telephone rings, and it was the head of public relations. It was a woman who was upstairs from me, and no hellos, nothing like that, no pleasantries. She just starts the conversation right out with, "Hey, Andrew, how tall are you? I'm 6'5". Why do you ask? Honest truth, she was about 5'1". I thought she wanted me to come upstairs and get something down off a shelf for her.
Let's say maybe she liked
They had
you
all
and
they had
she
all their
wants,
supplies, all that stuff, all their little, their flyers and things like that to promote the different LucasArts games up on these high shelves. So I figured, she wanted, that, Jason, you get that too. You're tall. It's like, can you get that for me off the shelf?
I'm
when
always
we go
picking
shopping or
stuff
something like
off
that.
the grocery store. Yeah,
exactly,
of course,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's what I thought it was. But then she comes back with, "Do you have any acting experience?" And when you're talking to somebody on the phone, you can't see them, but you can almost hear a smile in their voice when they're smiling like that.
Oh yeah.
I was picking up that vibe, and I'm going, okay, where's this going? There's something more to this thing here, and I'm trying to figure this out. And it's like, and at that point, I had I don't know, 21, 22 years of theater, film, television experience as an actor.
Oh, awesome.
And I let her know that, and then she hits me with this: "Can you breathe for me?" Yeah, I resisted being a smart aleck, and yeah. But I put all the pieces together there as best I could. I'm thinking to myself, okay, how tall are you? Do you have any acting experience? It's a Lucas company. Can you breathe for me? And I leaned into my phone and I went, and I said, so what's going on here? I asked. And she explained to me that they were looking for somebody to play Vader for a charity event, for a meet and greet, for Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America. This is long before the 501st Legion, the wonderful fans that have, got garrisons of their club all around the country, all around the world, that do, with Lucasfilm's blessing, a lot of appearances, for charity and things like that, as stormtroopers and Vader and everything else. But this is long before that, and so. Apparently there had been a guy that had been doing personal appearances for as Vader for Lucasfilm, but he had left the company and moved back home to Michigan, and so they needed somebody to do this event, and it was at the Marin County Fair that year in Marin County, California, which is where Lucasfilm had its offices and everything. And every year at the fair, one of the Lucas companies, at least one of the Lucas companies, would have some sort of presence at the fair. So they wanted to have the meet and greet the night before the fair opened, so the kids could have their photo taken with Darth Vader. So they knew I had a background in acting, and so somebody had ratted me out, and so they put me in touch with the archivist at Skywalker Ranch, a guy by the name of Don Bees, who was also a model builder at ILM. So a lot of Star Wars fans know who he is. So I called Don, and he said, "Well, I'm down at ILM this week. So why don't you come on over to the model shop and we'll meet?" And I'm thinking, cool, I got to see the ILM model shop, because I was working across the parking lot from there. LucasArts at the time was across the parking lot from the ILM model shop, but I'd never been into the model shop at all. And I'm walking up to the building, and it's got this like a warehouse type thing, and it's got one of those big roll up warehouse doors, and then also just a regular door for walking into the building, and they're both open. Right. And as I approached the building, I was looking down the hallway, down the regular doorway, and I see the Vader costume in a big plexiglass case. And I'm thinking, wow, that's big. I hope I can fit into that. So I walk up, and I'm thinking it's going to be really high security, like, hey, you can't come in here. It's restricted, And so
you'll be deactivated for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing like that. I'm going to flag people down. I'm going, excuse me. Yeah. I'm looking for Don. Who? Don Bees. Oh yeah, he's back there. Yes, maybe I looked like I belonged there. I don't know. But I'm walking into the model shop, and I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing stuff like from Ghostbusters 2 and Dragonheart, and
oh wow,
and the current Star Trek film that they were working on and everything, which I think was Generations was the one they were working on at the time. And so I find Don, and he comes up to me and shakes my hand. He says, "Hey, great to meet you," and everything. We're chatting and everything, and he says to me, You're not claustrophobic, are you?" I go, no, not claustrophobic. So we're walking around. He introduces me to another model builder, Nelson Hall, and Nelson shakes my hands, chatting with me. He's super to meet you and everything. And after a little bit, he goes, "You're not claustrophobic, are you?" And I go, "No, I don't think so. So we're walking around, and he's getting there, giving me the nickel tour, and we run into Grant Imahara, who a lot of people know from Mythbusters. And so we run into Grant, and Grant shakes my hand. He says, "Oh, sister, it's great to meet you," and everything. And, "Hey, you're not claustrophobic, are you?" I'm going, "I don't know. Maybe I am." So it was a setup. They were hazing me. But
How do you haze somebody that's going to be Darth Vader? I mean, that's crazy.
I don't know, but
Here, drink this, standing on your head.
Yeah. So we go all the way through the building, look at everything, and they're all talking like it's a done deal. But I saw that costume, from when I was approaching, and I'm thinking it's probably bigger than I am. So we end up in the room where I'd seen the Vader costume there. I'm standing right in front of this thing in the plexiglass case, and I'm looking up at it, and I'm going, I'm not going to fit into that. I'm not going to fit into it. But then Don said to me, "Oh yeah, this is one we made for Planet Hollywood. He's not to scale. He's much larger. He's a bit beefier than the real thing." And I'm going, "Oh, whew. Okay, great." So then I went up to the next week to Skywalker Ranch to meet Don at the Archives building. And at Skywalker Ranch, which is just a beautiful, beautiful location, very peaceful, really nice place. And up at the Archives building, they have everything you can think of. On the outside, it looks like a big barn, like a big robin's egg blue barn.
Right. Yeah.
On the inside, it's this perfectly climate-controlled, storage area for
rows and
everything
rows
you can think of from Lucas Productions. So all the costumes, all the props, all the miniatures, matte paintings, things like that from all the Star Wars films, the Indiana Jones films.
Heaven, basically, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, exactly. It's I'm seeing all this stuff that I got to look through everything, and they had Michael Jackson's Captain EO costume was there because George produced that, and the Howard the Duck costume. They actually used to keep it inside the Ark of the Covenant. It was don't open it.
I love it.
But
where is the duck now?
Yeah.
With top men.
Yeah. I'll tell you the coolest thing I saw in the Archives building, the absolute out of everything for me, because you know Jason, that you and I were big Disney theme park fanatics. I saw the miniatures used from the opening of the ride film for the original Star Tours. The doors that you crash through, the brakes,
nice.
Where are the brakes? And the little miniature Mighty microscope.
That is so cool.
From Inner Space,
from Inner Space, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was
Veronica.
The coolest.
So I'm going to catch up with some comments really quick.
Sure.
Veronica's asking, is it all set up like a museum or more like a warehouse?
More like a warehouse. It's a whole lot of shelves and stuff sitting on the shelves. It's not like set up like a museum for tours or anything like that. It's a real working archives like you would find at like you go to a museum. There's like all the stuff that's on display, but then they got all the stuff that there's like in storage and they're working on. It's just on racks that are numbered and things like that. That's what it was like. So
organized,
like
yeah.
That's what is it? Warehouse 51? Was that the show name that we watched? Maybe the one where it's like this big warehouse where everything's labeled and there's all these crazy artifacts and everything. Is it?
Yeah.
I wonder if it was something like that. Anyway,
it wasn't like the ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No.
Warehouse 13.
Warehouse 13.
Warehouse 13. Warehouse 13.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I think I combined the warehouse show with Area 51.
Area 51. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the wrong collection there. So
and Veronica. Yeah. Veronica also says that you were the 501st before it was cool.
I was the first. Then there was 501 more after me, or 500 more after me. So anyway, but yeah, so I went up there to the ranch and to the Archives building, and they had the Vader costume pulled out of storage for me to try on. And it was the original costume. It said D. Prowse on the inside for David Prowse, the original Vader.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I fanboyed out over that.
Totally.
Quietly to myself. So I put it on. It fit. We did that event for Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, and I thought, my gosh, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. That's never going to happen again. I just thank God I had a chance to do it. And then they called me back for something else, and something else, and something else. And I ended up playing Vader 70 times. So
wow.
My wife Veronica Loud made me keep count.
Yes. Yeah. You have a friend on here, Fabian Silva says hello.
Hey, Fabian, how are you?
All right, so we've got a few more people that have joined on. So we're
Okay.
kind of hopping back between stories and trivia, everybody.
Sure.
So we're trying to stump the Dark Lord, if you haven't heard already. And we've done some trivia questions from episode 4 and a couple from episode 5. In case you haven't, if you missed it, there's the Stump the Dark Lord logo again. We're going to go ahead and brandish that again and hopefully make you blush one more time. And we're going to go with the next question because the last question was, you've hit like everything so far. I think we're like, what, 6 for 6
Sorry.
at this point. It's okay. I mean, I honestly didn't expect anything less. The next question is, what were Yoda's first words to Luke?
What were Yoda's first words to Luke?
He's thinking of something clever again, folks, if you're just kind of catching on to this.
Step in that, do not. Okay. So,
Get off the grass.
yes.
Get off my lawn. That's what I think I meant to say. Yeah, get off the
my
lawn.
lawn. Yes.
All right, so first words. Come on.
First words.
Time's
Wow.
ticking.
Okay. Okay. This one is actually a little bit more difficult. I'm trying to think.
Oh,
back a
really?
little. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, Master
I
Yoda
imagine
has
it-
some...
yeah.
Master
I
Yoda
think
has
it-
some words of wisdom for you. You want to hear?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
strong words from a
I
little green
think his
man,
first
so-
words were "Away, put your weapon." Yes.
Oh my God. That is
Oh,
not his
what was
first
it?
words to
Okay.
Luke.
Okay.
All right,
I don't
so
remember, honestly.
We get to actually leave that up, and we have a few people in the
ahead.
audience. So if anybody wants to have a chance to answer, we're going to give them a chance. Oh, Jessica's on. Hi, Jessica. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Jessica.
Hi.
She was there at the event on Saturday
Yeah.
with Luis. It
She's
was nice to
tuning
see
in
them.
to see what your hair looks like. So.
Yeah, I know.
That's true, huh?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, now she
Yeah.
can finally
She
see.
knows what my hair looks like now.
Right.
I think it looks lovely.
So
Thank you.
we'll get back to
All right, so you
the
stumped the
question
Dark
a little
Lord.
bit later because we got a few more to go.
If you stump the Dark Lord, you don't have to show that photo anymore. So.
Oh well. What makes you think that I'm not gonna? Veronica says she knows. Why don't you go ahead and put it on there? I
Go ahead
anybody
then,
can answer
Veronica.
it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can give me a
ahead.
funny answer. You can give me the correct answer, a wrong answer. I don't care. I mean, the whole thing is just let's get involved, people. Let's ask some questions and answer some trivia.
Yes.
All right. So, gosh, so many things that you have
was a good
told me
question.
over the
Yeah.
years. Yes.
Mhm.
So, how many? So you said that the costume that you saw had David Prowse's name. Was he still alive at the time, or he had already?
Oh yeah,
passed
he was
away?
still alive. Yeah.
He was
Mhm.
still alive. Did you ever get a chance to meet him?
I met David Prowse once. I met Dave Prowse back, and this is long before I was Vadering or anything like that. He was he came to the San Francisco Bay Area in 1978 to do a signing at a collectible shop in Berkeley, California, called the Federation Trading Post. It was
Uh-huh.
it was mostly a Star Trek place. And I remember the line was just huge, blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks long. And I stood in line all day to meet him. And he was signing autographs for people. And when his hand got tired from signing, he would get up and walk the entire line, say hi to people, shake hands. He'd have little kids sit in his hand, and because he was a weightlifter, champion weightlifter and bodybuilder,
Wow.
and he would have them sit in his hand, and he would just lift them up over his head, just like his
Oh my
hand. was
gosh.
there.
Wow.
And I thought, and he was, super friendly, nice guy, and everything. I think I was probably the last person in line to see him. And honestly, it's the honest truth. Okay, I had with me a hardcover novelization of the film Star Wars,
Oh wow.
written by George Lucas. Wink, wink. Alan Dean Foster. And yes, it was actually written by Alan Dean Foster. But I had him sign it for me, and there it is. I was the last person in
Wow.
line.
Wow.
Yeah, and yes, it says to Andy because back then I was Andy. It was.
Yes.
I didn't become Andrew until I got to college and was serious about acting.
What a great thing. That is so
Yeah.
awesome.
But that was the only time we ever crossed paths. I guess Dave Prowse didn't want to do conventions or anything like that with other actors involved as Vader for whatever reason. But and then of course, if I was being Vader, then there wasn't a need for him to be there being Vader either at the same time. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I would have liked to have run into him again. Meet him. We had a lot of mutual friends,
Yeah.
But, mean, a lot of the other actors I knew very well. But Peter Mayhew was a very, very dear friend of mine. The original Chewbacca.
Yes.
And Peter and his wife Angie they were just wonderful. I love them dearly. I miss them both. But because they both passed away a few years ago. But
Right.
but I've known Anthony Daniels for years, and I knew Jeremy Bullock, and I knew Kenny Baker, and a lot of them. So yeah.
All some great names, original cast members.
Yeah.
So we got a couple more answers to the trivia question.
Okay, good. Got to be better than mine.
Patricia gave a great one. Backpack while you run, I can be. And a future backpack for everybody at Disneyland to wear too.
And my products will buy. Yes, Avon. Good for you, it is. So
Veronica got it right. She says the words were "feel like what." That was his first words to Luke, because Luke's like, I don't know. I just feel like, and then feel like what? Yeah, that. All right.
If I'd thought a little longer, I probably would have got it, but I didn't want to leave a long pause there with no.
Yeah, no, didn't want to give you too much time to guess.
We got to play the Jeopardy theme or something to fill the time there.
I didn't have that one loaded up, not this time anyway, but I'll think about it for the next show.
Yes.
All right. What animals were chewing on the Millennium Falcon's power cables?
And I'll say it the way that Princess Leia said it. Minox.
Yeah, Minox. She said it like she was grossed out.
Yeah, like grody. Ew.
Yeah, like get them off.
Gag me with a spoon.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We're gonna go with another episode 5 question here. This one might be a little tough. I don't know. Name 3 of the 4 insults that Leia called Han in Luke's room on Hoth. This is right after he recovered from the Wampa attack, and Han, Luke, and Leia are all in the same room, and she says a few nasty words to Han.
I know she calls him a scruffy-looking nerf herder. That's one of
2.
Them. No, that's okay, 2. That's
scruffy-looking, and a nerf herder. There's 2 other ones that she said as well.
Yeah. What did she say before that? She said something else before that.
I know it.
I don't know. Those are the ones that always stick in your head. It's like, but, I don't know. I'm gonna have to pass on that one. So
you take a mulligan on this one.
I'm gonna take a mulligan.
Right. Okay. Fabian got another one right. Half-witted was another one.
Half-witted. Yeah. Okay.
Half-witted, but there is one more.
Has one too. She said she.
Yeah.
Was...
You want to go ahead and say
what is it, Mimi?
Why you stuck up,
stuck up,
scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Right.
And I love his
Han's
response.
And
who's scruffy looking?
Right.
Like he immediately goes for the appearance. I'm the good looking guy here. Who's scruffy looking?
Yeah.
All the other stuff means nothing to him. That I would think nerf herder would have been the one that he'd be insulted by, but no.
And
yeah.
We're getting close to the hour here, and I would normally let something like this go a little bit longer, but we got some packing to do because we're heading to Disneyland tomorrow.
Yeah, just rub it in. Rub it in. You're going to Disneyland. I don't get.
I will.
Everything that I'm doing, this is main gate magic, and I'm going to tell you something. Everything that I do nowadays, my whole career and everything like that, all started because I went to Disneyland as a child. I really did. I love hearing that. That is what inspired everything, because I was 6 years old when I went to Disneyland for the first time. This was in 1968 because I'm old, and my mother and I drove down to Disneyland. And she took the longest route too. She took like Highway 1 from San Francisco down to with a 6-year-old child, because she thought, it's the scenic route and everything. No, it's the are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, that's the route we took. And
I was one of those kids, unfortunately.
My mom had hyped it all up, and I didn't really quite understand it because she tried to explain it as it's like the biggest carnival you ever saw, and it's like, well, if we just wait a couple weeks, there's going to be a carnival. It's summer. It's going to be a carnival at the local shopping center, and why do we have to drive this far? It made no sense to me. This is I had this kind of logical mind as a child, and so we're driving, and we finally get down there, and we check into the hotel, the motel and everything that we were staying at. Then we pull into the parking lot, and it's like finally my mother declares, "All right, we're there." And I look around, and it's a parking lot. It's like the giant, huge, it's like the biggest parking lot ever constructed. And it's like
right in front of the main gate.
Yeah. Well, nowadays it's Disney California Adventure, but back then it was a parking lot, But and so I didn't quite understand. My mom, grabs my hand and she goes, "Come on, let's go." We start walking, in some direction, and off in the distance I hear, Your attention, please.
Oh.
The Disneyland Limited now arriving at Main Street Station. And I'm like, ooh, what's that? And I'm getting excited. So
Yep.
now I'm matching her pace. She's not dragging me anymore. I'm matching her pace. And then all of a sudden the monorail goes whizzing over my head like that. And it's like, wow, now I'm outpacing her. And we're heading towards the main gate, and we get our tickets, and we walk in, and we step out onto Main Street, and my life changed forever.
Yes.
It literally did. Because
See, I got chills just from that story. I love hearing stuff like that.
But that's what awakened all the artistic interests in me. And after that trip, that's when I started drawing. Drawing pictures of Disneyland, a lot of pictures of Disneyland. I was drawing and cartooning and painting and sculpting and learning about theater and acting and effects and makeup and costumes and lighting and filmmaking and animation and everything. All of that, all because of Disneyland and all the annual pilgrimage that we would make to Disneyland.
Right.
And I know in particular, the thing that really fascinated me, which is funny because I was scared by it at first. I was absolutely scared about it. And I don't even think we went on it the very first trip, was Adventure Through Inner Space. That's my favorite attraction of all time. And I want Disney to bring it back. But
same.
But
absolutely.
That and Pirates of the Caribbean. Those were those, and then later on, Haunted Mansion too. But that was what inspired me. So if I had not gone there, I think at that age, it might not have happened. And also, I studied magic back then too. That was because I spent a lot of money at the Main Street Magic Shop and at Merlin's Magic Shop in Fantasyland. So
I spent a lot of money at the Starcade. I was a big
yes
then too. So
you playing the Tron game?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would go on the People Mover and then go downstairs and play the Tron game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Fabian said that parking lot was so long, like a day's hike. Yeah, if you parked way back there, it was a walk and a half.
Yeah, you need a Sherpa guide to get through it. Yeah,
seriously. We're gonna breeze through a couple more of these comments here. Veronica said the best insult to this day comes. We were talking about the question about the Princess Leia insults. The best insult to this day comes from Qui-Gon when he says the ability to speak does not make you intelligent. And I know he's saying that to Jar Jar. Yes, he's like, I speak. The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
He's gonna kill you when you're asleep when you say stuff like that.
And then I'm gonna ask for a quick answer on this one because we're getting short on time, and then we're gonna go through a lightning round on the rest of the trivia questions. But Fabian also said, which was the first video game that you did?
The first game I did was not a Star Wars game. It was actually the first game I worked on was Day of the Tentacle, LucasArts point-and-click adventure game. Day of the Tentacle and Sam and Max Hit the Road. Those were early ones. First Star Wars game I worked on was Dark Forces. So Dark Forces. So not only am I in the game as Vader, but I also worked on the effects for it. And then we did Rebel Assault 2, and I did a lot of games after that. So
yes, and I think we talked about it. You also used to do game support as well for LucasArts, right?
Yeah, that was my foot in the door at LucasArts. That was how I got in there. I got hired as a customer support representative originally, a tech rep. So basically, if you bought a game from LucasArts, you got it home, you popped it into your computer, and you couldn't get it to work, and you got all angry, and you found that 800 number at the back of the manual, and you called that number. I was the guy that answered the phone.
I called it many times, ran up the phone bill like crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
I did that for about a year, and then submitted my portfolio to the art director, and she brought me into the art department at the bottom of the ladder, and I worked my way up to visual effects supervisor and senior artist. So yeah,
awesome. All right, we're going to go back to trivia here. All
right.
Comments, and we're going to lightning round these. Okay, so next one, still in episode 5. What 3 emotions or actions does Master Yoda tell Luke that lead to the dark side?
Let's see. And
if you guys are listening in, you can still comment. If you can beat him to the punch, do it.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at you.
I think you may have stumped me again on this one.
Those Yoda
Dark Lord.
Apparently, as a Sith Lord, I don't pay much attention to Yoda. So it's like,
oh, hey, you know what? Fabian beat you to it. Yeah. Anger, fear, and aggression.
Yes.
The dark side are they. Yes. Very good.
See, alrighty. You're supposed to embrace. Yes. My gosh.
Still in episode 5. Sure. Which hand does Vader cut off from Luke?
The one that came off, the missing one.
It's a 50-50 shot, Andrew.
It's his right hand.
Yes, it's his right hand. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Final round, episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Excuse me.
Yes.
What is the name of the Jabba the Hutt's major domo / emissary? The guy that greets everybody before he goes up to his Excellency's main audience chamber.
Bib Fortuna.
Very good. That's another one that they did not say his name in the movie, but again,
Nope. Wasn't until Kenner Toys said, "Excuse us, we need a name for this guy."
Yeah, Ne Jabba no Bada. Yeah, okay, good one. All right, on to the next one. How long does it take the Sarlacc to digest its victims?
Well, does it have Prilosec or does it not? I mean, it depends.
No Prilosec. This is just like straight, no medication, nothing.
Is it like 1,000 years?
That we'll consider that correct. Okay. It is over 1,000 years.
Over 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
At least that's what 3PO says.
Yes.
When he's translating. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Good one. I feel like you were reaching for that one a little bit. Is that right?
Boba Fett trying to get out of there.
He did get out of it,
Yeah.
as we find out later on. All right. Let's see. Next one. What type of Imperial shuttle did the rebels steal to travel to Endor?
It was a shuttle Tidarium.
Yes, very good. Dang, we're going quick now. This is lightning round. All right, what type of help did Han Solo say was better than no help at all when they were on Endor?
Hired help. No.
I wonder if the Ewoks got paid for helping on that later on. What kind of benefits did they get besides empty stormtrooper helmets to play as?
I don't know. I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure. I guess it was the Ewoks, but it was. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a line that Han Solo says when he's talking back to Chewbacca.
Which is kind of funny because they were going to eat them. They were.
I know they were.
Yeah,
and it was right after I think they untied them from.
They were going to make a Han sandwich,
Let's see if anybody in the comments got it yet before I say. Fabian
Many lands
and Veronica. Fabian and Veronica both got it right. It's short help. Short help's better than no help at all, Chewie.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That was the answer. All right.
Yep.
2 more to go here. The next one is say the next line. Luke says, "Your confidence is your overconfidence is your weakness." And the next line is,
"I'm rubber and you're glue."
You know what, Andrew? You're a winner either way. I mean, that's not the right answer, but that was hilarious.
I'm sticking with that one.
Sticking with that one. Come on, people. Comments, anything? Ewoks got 2 movies, Fabian says. Yes, they did.
Yes, they do. And I know the actors from them. I know the stars of them. Yes.
All right.
In fact, Eric Walker, the star of those, is in Heroes of Extinction. What's that?
Anybody on the show know?
Voice, I'll be disappointed, Jason.
Oh, okay. Anybody on the show know here? I mean, Lisa, Mimi? No?
Mm-mm. Can't think of it right now.
And nobody in the comments.
That Disney Plus
I think I know it, but I don't want to embarrass myself if I'm wrong.
Well, Luke is the one that says your overconfidence is your weakness, and he's saying it to the Emperor, and the Emperor returns by saying, Fabian beat me to it. Yes. Your faith in your friends is yours.
So that was beautiful.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice, Jason. Very nice.
Veronica got it too. Yeah, she got it too. All right, last question. As he was dying.
This one's for the car. Okay.
This one's for the car, yeah. Yes. That's okay. We're like Oprah. Everybody gets a car at the end. Episode
and you get a land speeder, and you get a land speeder, and you get a land speeder.
That would be so cool. I want a land speeder with mirrors on the bottom and everything.
Sure.
As he was dying, what did Darth Vader ask Luke to tell his sister?
I always liked her more than you.
She was my favorite.
Tell your sister. He says, tell your sister you were right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. Absolutely. All right. Very, very, very good. Yeah. Let's give a round of applause. Yay!
Random children everywhere.
I know. All stuck in my computer.
Yay! We're stuck in the computer.
All right. What time are we at here? We're at 7:00. We got a couple more updates. That'll just take about 5 more minutes before we close out here.
Sure.
So we are a little closer now to our t-shirt store. I've actually finally, with the help of my friend Leia, Andrew, who you are familiar with, who was also writing for us on Adventurous Ideas.
Yes.
And she helped me actually get my first T-shirt on the Etsy store. So the Main Gate Magic Etsy store is open officially. Yay!
Yay!
No
First
screaming
transport
children
is
this time?
away.
Yes. What was that?
I said the first
No
transport
screaming
is away.
children?
No,
No screaming children for this one. No, although they are all unisex and they come in all sorts of sizes, and it is the Lafitte's Landing one that's on the screen right now. So if you guys are just listening, you can also tune into Main Gate Magic on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can see all this kind of stuff later on too if you want to see it, or just go to the Etsy store and buy one. There'll be plenty more to come, but probably not until after we get back from our trip.
Buy one. It is your destiny. So.
Yes, it is. That's what you say about shaking your hand at every place we go to. Can I shake your hand? I would say it's your destiny. Is that what you say about it? Is that
that's what I say. Yeah, or people say, yeah, can I take a photo with you? I always say, it is your destiny. So
there it is. It is. All right, and then also for those who are just listening to this on audio only, I got an email from Buzzsprout today that says they have a new feature now for the audio downloads. It's called Fan Mail. And what you can do on whatever streaming platform you're listening to, there should be a little link above the description of the episode where you can click it and you can send us a comment from whatever app you're listening from, and it'll send me a message on Buzzsprout, and I can respond to you if you guys want to give suggestions for the next show or a specific topic, something you want us to do while we're at Disneyland this upcoming week. Anything you can think of, we'd be happy to hear from you. So check it out while you're listening and write something if you'd like to.
Okay. I dare you to stand in the middle of the park and scream out, Soylent Green is people! Okay, so.
That would be a good challenge for the boys on I have to ask you a question. So Andrew and I watch a lot of Impractical Jokers, which is a hilarious show if you guys have never seen it. He got me hooked on it, and I binge watched. I think I watched like 4 episodes today after I got off of work when I should have been packing. I know, but I'm wondering, I would love if they could do a Disneyland
wouldn't
episode.
that be great? They actually did some in Universal Studios. They did. Did
they really?
Oh yes, they've done a couple of a lot of challenges in Universal Studios. Yes,
I just saw one where where 2 people lost and they had to go up and present animals at a zoo, and there was like giant lizards and falcons and a hawk, I think, and of course Sal was one of them, and he's terrified of animals. I'm surprised they didn't bring like a wild bobcat out or something like that.
I know, because he's afraid of cats, but
right.
I keep hoping I'm going to run into those guys at conventions, because I know that that Murr does conventions and everything.
Oh, does he?
Speaking of which, cheap segue. If you're watching this live or if you're playing it back soon after it's been broadcast, I will be at Lodi Comic-Con this coming weekend in Lodi, California on Saturday, this coming Saturday, which is
awesome.
What is the date on Saturday? Saturday.
Sorry, I missed that one. Yeah,
the 11th. Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, so and if you want, you can find, you can go to my website, candrewnelson.com. It's down right now, but it's being revamped at the moment, and you go there to the events page and you can find out all the different places I'll be.
So you can go to your website, but it's just not going
right now. There's nothing there, but it's down and being refurbished, and we'll be back up very, very soon.
All right,
awesome.
Well, our next show is actually going to be a trip report on our trip to Disneyland, the Disneyland Resort in general, I'm going to say, because we're going to be going to California Adventures too. We might hit some stuff in downtown Disney. We're going to be going on the last night of Star Wars night. That's going to be on the 9th, I think. Yeah. The 9th. It's the very last one for this particular year, but they are still doing Season of the Force all the way through June 2nd. So if you guys are still Magic key holders and you want to get down there, there's still plenty of stuff to do. I heard it's also Pixar Fest as well.
It is.
Yeah.
And they have these little I know some people are calling them Pixar trucks, but it's the Pizza Planet trucks.
Yes.
There's 50 of them
all
that
over
have been
the place.
scattered. Yes, they've been scattered all through Disneyland and California Adventures.
I know where 2 of them are.
So do I. Let me guess. Fresh Baked?
Yep. No. Yep. Yes. That Fresh Baked and Hey Bricky. So.
Okay. Yeah. So Fresh Baked. I know he called a couple of them out. He saw one at the Droid Depot and also one on the Incredicoaster.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and talk about all of our
those were the ones I saw either.
Okay. Oh no. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna be on the lookout for sure.
I'm not gonna tell you where they are. So
I don't
you
want
got
to
to
know.
find it for
I
yourself.
wanna,
If you're not going to take me with you, you have to find it for yourself.
like, I want to see where they hid. I mean, I'd love to see one hidden like on Pirates or something like that. That'd be cool
Yeah.
because these aren't just regular Pizza Planet trucks that
Right.
look like the original Pizza Planet. They're themed to look like
Right.
whatever it's meant to blend into. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
so
that's
if you're in the
fun.
Droid Depot, it's going to be the shape of the Pizza Planet truck, but it's going to be attached to something that might look like a droid normally.
Yeah.
So
See, I
it's a
think that's
little-
even
they made
more
it
fun
difficult.
than when they did like the Easter egg stuff. I think that's
Oh yeah.
that's even better. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So that'll be the next episode. We'll be doing a trip report. And just so you all know, if you're listening or watching, we are now going weekly. So we were
Yes.
originally doing every other week on Tuesdays at 6 p.m., but now it's going to be every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Lots of fun stuff coming up. Lots of new special guests coming up. I'm so excited. I have lots of people in the rafters sort of just waiting to get on, and I can't wait to bring them in.
But that starts on the 14th.
That starts on the
Yeah,
14th.
Mhm.
No, wait. Does it start on the 14th? Yes,
Yes.
it does start on
Sure,
the
because
14th.
you're
But that is a
unless
week
you're
from
doing the
today.
show live from down there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not. No. So yeah,
Okay.
I get back on Monday. She gets back on Tuesday, and we're going to be doing our next show on
Yeah.
the 14th. So yeah,
I'll be back at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
Ooh.
Leaving
It's going to be
LA
some
at,
rough travel
like,
time, and I get it back at like
11.
11:30 the night before or something like that because I have to work on Tuesday, unfortunately. So.
Mhm.
All right, so last minute, did you want to plug anything else? Anything for
Yeah.
Adventurous Ideas?
If people want to find out more about Adventurous Ideas, we can go to adventurousIdeas.com, or you can go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@ Adventurous Ideas. And you can actually listen to the whole first episode of Heroes of Extinction there. And also Jason's other podcast, the Lowdown at the Down Low. You can also, if you want to find out more about me, like I said, you can go to my website, which will be up very soon. Or you can find me on social media. I'm C. Andrew Nelson on Facebook. I'm C. Andrew Nelson on Instagram. Or if you want to find out what I'm doing when I'm not doing all this other stuff, you can go to my other YouTube channel, which is Aquatasy, which is all about tropical fish, because that's the hobby that keeps me from going bonkers. So that's AQUATASY, Aquatasy. So
We all
for
got to
it by
have one of
name.
those. Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, you can-
we got to wrap it up here and say goodnight.
All
But
right.
thank you so much for coming on the show, Andrew. It was a
Yeah,
genuine
this was
pleasure.
great. This was
Always
so
love
much
the
fun.
stories.
Yeah.
Yes. And thank you for bringing joy to the audience and even to our lives just for 1 hour. That's what the show's
Thanks
all
for
about.
stumping
And I really
me.
Thank you for it. Yes. I'm glad that I was able to
I'm
get you on a
so glad.
couple of them.
That's good,
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody who's listening or still hanging in there. Appreciate you guys
Yeah.
for hanging around and participating in the chat and listening to trivia and having fun with us.
Mhm.
If you want to get any other information about the podcast, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on YouTube, Facebook, everything. Just look for Main Gate Magic. You can go to the Facebook page has everything on there. That's a good go-to spot. It's where the QR code for my business card is. And you can find past recordings there or on YouTube. And you can also listen to them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, which I think branches out to like 4 other services, and also Podcast Index and Amazon Music. So yeah, we're on all that.
Spreading like the
All
Borg.
that.
Yes.
Yes, we are like a
You will be
virus.
assimilated. Yes.
All right, everybody, that's our show for tonight. Thanks again for watching, and we'll hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Blessings to you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.